So, with the coronavirus scare going on right now, I wanted to go walk through two potential options for long term food storage. While everyone's rushing to Costco and to their local supermarket to find food and essentials, um, we actually didn't. Mainly because a few years back, we ended up scooping up two different buckets in regards to your long-term food storage. One is by the very famous brand Mountain House. This brand is a camper favorite, mainly because they actually are known to make the most tasty meals. I mean, you could take a look here. This is supposed to be a 3-day bucket. It's got 29 servings. It includes 12 different pouches, 12 different meals. Some of them are bubbled up. So you've got beef stroganoff with noodles, beef stew, chicken teriyaki with rice, lasagna with meat sauce, noodles and chicken. So those, it looks like it's got 10 different pouches for lunches and dinners. And then the last component is the granola with milk and blueberries. So that's probably your breakfast meals. It's got a 30. If you take a look here, let's see if we can pop this open. You've got a 30-year shelf life guarantee, and I've actually heard that this is actually probably good for 50 years, mainly because they've completely sealed it, not just from the bucket, but there's actually, if I were to open this, it has Mylar pouches inside of it. You've got, it only takes 10 minutes of boiling water. You just simply add it. You eat it right out of the pouch, and so there's no cleanup needed. All you need is a spoon and a way to boil water. I mean, obviously you can use it for backpacking, camping, hunting, fishing, but the reason that I bought it was for just emergency food storage. Exactly over here, just emergencies, just leaving it at home and not needing to worry about it. So this has been advertised as a 3-day emergency meal prep, which is great. I mean, this is pretty light. Doesn't feel like it's more than maybe 7 pounds. I'm sure that you can look up the weightage on the Amazon descriptions, or look up the weightage. Look at me. You could look up the weight on the Amazon descriptions. But this was my first purchase, mainly because it has the best reviews and everyone loves Mountain House. But in hindsight, the very first thing that I would actually recommend is this way heavier, way less known brand called Augustine Farms. And the reason being is, like, for essentially the same, let's say, floor space, and essentially like not that much bigger in terms of the bucket size. You can see here one versus the other, essentially the same bucket size. Instead of getting 3 days, you are getting 30 days of food storage. Now, granted, this bucket is a lot heavier. This feels like maybe 30 pounds. So there's a lot of calories inside of just this one bucket. But what's crazy is these buckets are essentially the same price. I think I paid $85 for the Augustine Farms bucket, and I think I paid $75 for the Mountain House. So for 10 times more food, I am for $10 more, I'm getting 10 times more food. Now, granted, the calories are a little different. This is designed for 1,800 calories per day. It has 46 grams of protein. This one's 25-year shelf life instead of 30 years, but as we know, with all freeze-dried food, that could last up to 50 years. And so it looks like it even has a 30 and 45 day meal planner. So if you really needed to, you could actually reduce this down to 1,200 calories a day and make this last 45 days if things were really getting dire. And then you could take a look at the meal plan. So it's got maple brown sugar oatmeal, mashed potatoes, cheesy broccoli rice, creamy potato soup, macaroni and cheese, creamy chicken flavored rice, hearty vegetable chicken flavored soup, banana chips, and a low-fat milk alternative. And so I keep some freeze-dried coffee so that you can have your morning coffee in the morning if you needed to. This is a super cool package. I mean, I really, really like it. Now, granted, I'm sure the food does not taste as good as Mountain House. Mountain House is the king for flavor. But if you're looking for something from an emergency food perspective, and you're like, look, I just want to have something stocked away in my closet, and I don't have to worry about 30 days of food, you get one of these buckets per person, and you're set. Start with a month per person, then you won't have to worry. Make sure you have your food taken care of. But if you've got food and water taken care of, you won't need to be freaking out in these type of emergencies because hey, I've got the calories stocked away. Now, you should also have just 2 weeks of your everyday regular food. So you don't even have to crack open this bucket for most emergencies. You can just simply be eating out of your fridge or your pantry, depending on whether or not you have power or not. But it's a great way to sort of supplement, and it's essentially your emergency fund. This is as good as cash in the bank. It's going to last you essentially 25 years if you want to follow the label, but 50 years. So essentially the rest of your life, you will have this emergency food. It's as good as cash in the bank. You can just have your 30-day Augustine Farms food storage. Really, really cool kit. And so I think that everyone should have this sitting in their closet ready to go for long-term food storage. And I hope you end up scooping one up for yourself. Take care.